Hello my friends! This video is coming at you from Carpo's crazy mind. From the back room. What the hell? I'm just gonna go ahead and just say it. Wait, what am I gonna say? No, I'm a scientist, you can trust me. I got my lab coat on, so pretty much everything I say is gonna be 100% fact and legitimate. And if you disagree, then you just gotta do your research. If you're not wearing a research vest, then you won't understand. Alright, so let me get my coffee here and my pipe. Alright. This video is going to be about being weird. I started it off perfectly, because I am pretty damn weird, I gotta say, but let me start off with a disclaimer that originally the video was going to be entitled, What is Normal? Okay? And since I have no idea what normal is, and since it would probably lead to some philosophical discussion about what are you comparing it to or whatnot, I would say to start off that there is a such thing as normal, okay? When I say normal, you know, without getting too into the semantics, I'm saying that there is a norm as to what we consider to be appropriate human behavior. So that would be that normal is that you don't lie or cheat as a normal value of your life, or, you know, pride yourself on it. But it doesn't mean that people don't lie and cheat and steal. It just means that it's not the norm that we pride ourselves on being thieves or liars. And I think that this is just one example of a way that we can kind of pin down what normal is. What is normal? You walk into the grocery store and you go up to the checkout, and you're standing there in line. You know, somebody in front of you talks to the cashier, you talk to the cashier, and then the person behind you is like, you know, fiddling with coupons, and they can't make eye contact, and they can't, you know, get themselves into a normal conversation, which they may have social anxiety, they may just be dumb or depressed or anxious or a million different things, but the point is that there is a level of normalcy that goes with each situation. And this is where I'm trying to get at, that there's no consistent normal at all times, but there's normal within the standards of our paradigm of what we consider to be normal in our communities, okay? So, for example, when I go into certain places, I'm the weird guy, okay? I might have mismatched clothes, maybe not care too much what I look like, or have a, you know, the guy with the beard or the hat or whatever it might be. I consider myself, and this is of course in my own mind, that I'm perceived as being different or the alternative type person. And this came from growing up through, you know, my whole teenage years. I wore pot leaf tie-dyes, Grateful Dead shirts, heavy metal shirts. I had a mullet, hair down to my ass at one time. I prided myself on looking different, okay? And this is what a lot of kids do. It's just normal. It's peacocking. It's what we do. And it doesn't change when you get older. People just become more, let's say, just more, more comfortable with where they're at or how they look. And then people get married, and maybe they stop caring what they, you know, they're not seeking a mate, so they start to think, I don't care about style anymore. But to a degree, everybody cares a little bit about how they look. You know, because I've heard people say, I don't care what I look like to other people, I just know that I'm a good soul. And I'm like, but you're wearing these, like, you know, these nice white flowy robes, and your hair's all done up. It's like, how can you pretend? You know, anyway, we don't associate ourselves as being our bodies, and that's the thing. It goes back to the philosophy of body and mind and spirit, and what is you? Who are you? And it's a philosophy that you know, we start to think, well, obviously it's not our bodies, because when you ask somebody, what do you like me for? You know, and they say, oh, your body, you know, that's not acceptable. You can't really just say your brain, because it's just an organ. We would say your soul or your essence. So the core values of each one of us is what we share, right? And these are the things that we look for in each other, is the same core values. So if we're sharing these same core values as someone else, then they're within our normal bias, I guess. Our normalcy bias is what we would call it. And, you know, just like in Islam culture, you know, in some village out in the middle of nowhere in Saudi Arabia that, you know, far away from the cities, you know, they'll have these a system of doing things completely different from, let's say, a village out in Norway somewhere in the hills. Norway, I'm just trying to give an example of even people who aren't tainted by society's standards so much are completely different in their own groups, and they have their own normalcy. But there are these consistencies within it that we all consider normal, such as smiling and saying hello to someone and being respectful. So, you know, I like being different, but it's funny, to back what I was saying, how I may be the guy who's different when I go places. Then when I go somewhere like Burning Man or like Soak, I actually feel like the normal guy. Because so many people, some people like to go walking around naked, other people have these crazy like headdresses on and robes and crazy lights, and even my cheesy little, you know, outfits or whatever I may come up with, all of a sudden my normalcy bias changes, and what I consider normal changes, and what I consider to be what I consider normal in myself changes, and who I consider myself changes with the context of the group. I can go to some concerts and feel like the old schooler, because, you know, maybe I've been seeing the band for a long time or something, and then I can go to other concerts and feel like the old guy, not the old schooler, just the old guy that's like too old to be here, or, you know, even because I'm 40 years old at a concert with 30-year-olds or 20-year-olds, depending on the context, you know, depending on the place I'm at, who I'm with, and it's, I don't know. So if I were to get to a point, if I hadn't made one already, it would be, it's okay to be different. It's okay to embrace your difference and to realize that peacocking is something that we do naturally. It's something that we don't have to necessarily be doing it to attract a mate. We don't necessarily do it so we can make friends. People might even dress a certain way just to get a reaction from people, just to see, in many different ways. Some people dress to get a reaction of disgust. Some people dress a certain way to get a reaction of, oh, that person's super cool. Or some people dress to say, oh, that person has a lot of money, so they can buy this, you know, this fancy name brand clothes. And that's another whole realm that I don't want to get into, but it always comes up when I talk about peacocking or dressing nice. Like, there's one thing to wear nice clothes or funky clothes to look different, and there's another thing when the clothes don't matter, but the label that's on the clothes do. And then rather than saying this shirt defines me, or this coat, or these pants, you know, they fit who I feel like I am, you're like, this label fits who I think I am. I'm sponsoring these people, and we sponsor labels all the time, not just with clothes, but everywhere. So anyway, I'll just keep this short, you know. It's just kind of a ramble. Ramble about normalcy. I'm pretty damn far from normal, if there is such a thing, but maybe more normal in some ways.